Let me show you what our old closet looked like.
Bins down here for like socks and underwear, workout clothes that you don't really fold. I added these shoe shelves here. Up here is, I think he's got ties in here. What's in here? More of those workout clothes, t-shirts. This is all of his folding pants. And these used to be in extra closets in our other house, but we put them in here to get a little bit more storage. There's t-shirts in here. Then I have my bins, socks, underwear, and then that one is just hats and little purses, things like that. Shopping bags. This bag, embarrassingly enough, it's been there for a while. It needs to get donated. I have my plastic cheap drawers here. Shorts. This is tank tops. And here, over here, I've just got random long sleeve shirts that I just fold and set there. Random t-shirts. I've got some jeans in here. These are just like casual shorts. My shoe shelves. And then up here, this is a box of like flip-flops and sandals. I don't really wear them a lot. Contacts, I've got some jeans folded here. There is jewelry. I have that. In addition to that is a jewelry box. It's mostly empty. And those are jewelry boxes. I need to do something better than that. It's just not very efficient. This is my travel bag. Honestly, I don't even know what's in here. Let me refresh my memory. Pretty much like nothing. What is in here? Oh, these are old contacts that I didn't use. They're probably expired. I need to get rid of that. I need to get rid of this. This was a hair thing I was trying. Didn't work. This is a work laptop. It's huge. I'm not going to be using it anymore. I got a new one. Need to take it back to the office.
So it wasn't a terrible closet. We never ran out of space. It's a good size, but it wasn't very functional. Definitely not very aesthetically pleasing, and there was so much wasted space. I really wanted our closet to be pretty and organized. First things first, gotta get some measurements. Okay, so we have 55 inches on this wall to the left of the door, 55 inches to the right of the door. This wall is a little bit shorter because we have a cutout section that is 67 inches. This back wall is 163 inches. The wall on that side is 81.5 inches, and we have 9-foot ceilings. And we have to take into account this electrical panel here, and this is the light switch. Currently, his side, my side, but I am definitely open to switching whatever gets me the most closet space to count every single pair of shoes that you have. Actually physically go and count it, because a lot of times you have way more than you think you do, and you don't want to underestimate that. I also made note of how many of those shoes were boots, because boots are going to take up more space between shelves. So one of the first things we had to think about is, what do we want out of a closet? One of the main things that I wanted to get more hanging space. We currently had 323 inches. I wanted to maximize that. I think that's kind of the point of getting a closet redone.
I wanted spacious drawers, as many as we could get. I wanted plenty of shelves for shoes. I have a ton, he has less, but shoes are always an issue, especially when you don't have enough room for them. I wanted some shelf space for folded clothes or for storage baskets or bins that would hold clothes. One longer section for dresses. This was actually a maybe, because I wasn't so sure if I wanted to allocate space for that, because I don't have a ton of dresses. I wanted his and her sides. No blending. I wanted 100% of his clothes to fit on his side and all of my clothes to fit on my side. And so I wanted that hanging space on each side to be fairly equal. And I also wanted a valet rod. We had one in our last closet. I liked it, so I figured I would want another one.
And that was pretty much it. I don't think my wants were too far out of this world. Another thing we had to think about is, do we want a wall-based hanging system, or do we want a floor-based system? A wall-based system is usually some kind of a rail-based system where you have rails that are screwed into the wall and then all of the closet units attached to that. And in a DIY situation, this kind of worried me because I had these horrible visions of my entire closet collapsing to the floor. The floor-based system gives you that custom look that I definitely would want. And that means that your units sit directly on the floor, but that usually means that you need to take out your floorboards. And in a DIY situation, I just wasn't so sure if I wanted to deal with that. Floor-based setups are usually a little bit more expensive. Did we want to DIY or did we want to pay someone? And how much was all of this going to cost? The closet in our previous home was a custom closet and I loved it, but it was also a smaller closet. And so I was kind of nervous about how much it would cost to get a custom closet in this house. So in an attempt to cut costs, I started by researching different online companies. My favorite one to play with was the Costco Serenity Closets online planning tool because it was super user-friendly. That's the first one I used, and it really gave me a sense of what was possible in the space that we had.
Okay, so there you can see the layout over here, and if I go in and hit edit, you can see the different types you can select. You plug in your measurements. We originally started out with this, but then we realized with our little cutout, we had this. This is an overview of all of the walls.
What I really liked about this one is that it allowed you one custom cut per wall. So that was really helpful to minimize the possibility of just having dead or wasted space. The other companies didn't offer that. You were limited exactly to the sizes of the units that they had available.
I just added it up and I'm not impressed with the hanging space. It basically puts us at about what we have now. This is the closet that I was able to come up with. This is the overhead view. Some dead space here just because it's not custom. And also you do need clearance for clothing that might be hanging here anyway, so I guess it's okay. I just watched a video on installation and it looks like they have a solution for dead space. I think you need a handsaw and a hacksaw, but you can buy a shelf and then cut it to fit, and then also get a pipe rod, cut it to fit, and you can add hanging space here. It has 8 shelves and I have more shoes than would fit here. I would be able to fit 3 across on a 25-inch shoe shelf, and that's 24 pairs of shoes. I have more than that. So I technically wouldn't have enough room for my shoes. $4,232.09.
So the bottom line with these companies is that I was finding the prices to be between $4,000 and $5,000. And to me, that was just a little bit high for a DIY option. I felt like if I were going to be spending that much money, then I don't know, I might as well at least look into what it would cost to have it professionally done. The other thing about these options is that with Costco Closets by Serenity, because it included a custom cut, it was 100% non-refundable. So you would order the stuff and you were stuck with it, whether it worked out, whether it ended up cheap, whether you couldn't install it properly, you were just stuck. And then with the other companies, they did have return policies in place, but usually you were responsible for return shipping and a percentage of a restocking fee, something like 20%. So I don't know. It really scared me, the idea of spending $4,000 or $5,000 and getting it and then either not liking it or just not having it work out. We also looked into the Container Store. The online tool did not work for us because our closet is technically 6 sides, not 4. And so we actually had to go into the store to get an idea of how much this was going to cost. And the lady was super nice. She was able to put together a closet that matched pretty closely to what I was wanting.
But the price was more than I expected. Everything is wire, but you can add on wood drawer fronts and wood to cover the wire shelves. It's clean and nice looking, but I felt the price was just too high for what you get. I also didn't like that we couldn't fully maximize the space because we are restricted by the sizes that the Elfa units come in. Without installation, it was $5,600 plus tax, and that was with the 20% off sale. It would have been about $5,600 with 8 drawers and 348 inches of hanging space, which is pretty good. If we added more drawers, that would cut the hanging space too low. And then I was worried about not having enough shoe shelves. And the price was $7,000 if we were to have them installed. Another option was IKEA. I really liked the PAX line, but I just could not figure it out online. One of our neighbors used them and did it themselves and spent about $3,000. All the pictures of PAX look amazing. Like, I think I would have really loved the look of it. And for about $3,000, that is basically a bargain for our size of a closet. If I had wanted to seriously consider it, I would have had to go into IKEA and get help because their online planning tool, I could not get it to work for me. So that was that. This is something that you would buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. And they have other brands like Liberty Closets. There's a bunch of different options if you just look online and see what they have. But with these, I was just worried about not liking the finished product. For example, the Closet MAID, it sits on the floor on legs, and they did have corner units that might help minimize dead space. But I felt overwhelmed by trying to figure out what materials I would need. And in general, the DIY piece of it too was overwhelming for me. I'm guesstimating that we could have spent around maybe $2,000 to $3,000 on it. And this is a serious guess because I never even got to the point where I could even figure out what parts to add to my cart. It would have been an improvement over what we had, but you're limited by the units available. And I just really wasn't so sure that I would get the look I wanted and be able to maximize the space like I wanted. Chances are I was making it out to be way harder than it actually is, but it felt like too much for me.
And also, as much as I want to be DIY people, I just don't know if we're DIY people. So that's when I decided to call in the experts. I figured even if I didn't go with one of their designs, at least I would know what my options are. If it felt like the price was too high, I could always go back and look at the DIY options. So we ended up doing 3 custom quotes. Custom closet company number 1 came in at $5,440. And this was going to be a combination of hanging and floor base to cut costs. So the drawers were going to sit on the floor and the rest of it was going to be hanging. And I really liked her design, except for there was a little bit of a dead space, and I didn't understand why, if this was supposed to be a custom closet. And the other thing that I didn't like about this particular quote is that I asked for example, I asked for more double hang instead of 2 long hang sections because I don't have a lot of dresses, and she's like, you don't need it. I felt like she was very, very focused on what was in my closet without thinking about what I might want to change. I really wanted to be able to fit as much in my closet as possible. Custom closet quote number 2 came in at $6,900. This woman came in. We spent a little bit of time in my closet while she asked me what I wanted, and she took measurements, and she nailed the design on the first try. It was pretty much exactly what I would have wanted. She was really good. She did everything on the computer. What I really liked about this design is that it was going to have 33-inch wide drawers, which that's great, so spacious. And we were each going to have our own dedicated shoe wall that had 11 shelves each. I really liked that. And also, this company was affiliated with Costco, so we were going to get a $690 gift card if we went with them. So I liked that a lot too. Custom closet quote number 3 came in at $5,939. She was also really good. These closet people, they know their stuff. She came in, she did her measurements, and then she sketched everything out on graph paper. And with this design, the only thing that made me nervous is that we weren't going to have a dedicated shoe wall. Basically, this design took into account our high ceilings, and it went up 96 inches instead of 84 inches. The other 2 only went to 84 inches. So with 96 inches, that gave us extra shelves on each shelving unit. And so we would have 2 extra shelves on each shelving unit, plus each of us would have a medium hang section with shelves. And that would cover all of our shoes. So it made me a little bit nervous that we weren't gonna have a dedicated shoe wall, but I measured everything out and I determined that we would have enough space for shoes, like she said. What I also liked about her is that she left me with a copy of the designs. The other 2 did not. I had to kind of like take notes and try and remember it as best I could from memory. So with this design, I was able to kind of obsess over it a little bit, how I like to do. And I actually asked for a few different adjustments that she said that she would be able to make. With all of the companies, these quotes were just for flat style fronts on the drawers. If we were gonna add the shaker style, that would have added anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 extra. So after I got all these quotes, I pretty much was like, let's do it. I do not want to do this myself. And I was actually pleasantly surprised at the prices. I really thought we were going to be getting closer to $8,000 to $10,000. And if it had gone up that high, then I might have really just had to suck it up and do the DIY option, but it was within a range that I was willing to pay. Yes, there's still a part of me that wishes that we would have gone the cheaper route just to save the money. I keep seeing these packs, IKEA closets, and seeing how nice they are and how much less people paid with those, but I just wanted what I wanted. I knew that if we got a custom closet that I would get what I wanted. They would come in, they would design it, and that I would like it. And I just wanted that assurance. So we decided to go with company number 3 and get our custom closet. The next video will be all about the organization, the teardown, and the new closet reveal. So you'll get to see how everything turned out.